Hi, and welcome back for another daily dose of anime recaps. In this episode, we'll be covering the 7th and 8th episodes of the newly released anime Blue Lock. Japan's soccer team needs to regroup after facing a shattering defeat in the 2018 World Cup. How are they going to select the best players from all over the country? Simple. The Japan Football Union gathers 300 of the best players in their Blue Lock training facility, where the soccer genius Igo Jinpachi wants to create the best team in the world with the best striker. Yoichi Isagi enters this equation by joining the training program when he receives an unusual invitation for this player improvement program. We spot him on this crazy adventure where he finds himself playing for his life to get a spot on the team. Before we begin, don't forget to smash that subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update from us. Episode 9 takes off with Team V in the lead with Nagi's last goal. Nagi feels overconfident and wants to play hooky. However, Mikaji isn't excited about that idea. He'll let him do that when he has scored at least 5 goals. The technique and control shown by Nagi when he scored the last goal is making Isagi think that they are up against a monster. Shaking it off, Team Z is in a mood for attack. Kunigami runs to try and get in his range to shoot, but Mikaji takes the ball away thinking it's pointless. Attempting to retake the ball, Kunigami's attempts are useless as Mikaji doesn't let the ball go at all. He gives a long pass to Nagi again. Nagi taps the ball and does an amazing bicycle kick. He has scored his second goal in the game already. Raichi blames Kunigami for losing the ball. Isagi stops him because he knows they need to band together. If they lose, they are all out. Restarting from the center, Isagi feels like he needs to bring out the big guns, their last weapon, Chigiri. Isagi gives him a long pass and Chigiri sprints after it, but no one can believe that Suguri is catching up to his speed and takes the ball. That was unexpected. Tsurugi passes to Mikaji. Isagi predicts that he will pass the ball to Nagi again. Team Z has another trick up their sleeve. They start covering and protecting Nagi, but Mikaji isn't going to fall into their trap. He gives the ball to Tsurugi. With Team Z's plan to cover Nagi, Tsurugi has all the field to himself freely and scores a goal. Team V is in the lead by 3-0. Team Z needs to up their game. Isagi thinks that no one in his team believes in their victory anymore. He gives Bachira a reality check when he gets excited watching the opponent trio score. Bachira imparts his wisdom, saying that they need to be super special too in order to match the opponent's super special skills. With the ball, Bachira thinks that they will have surpassed their limits if they manage to score even after their weapons and formulas fail. They should be excited rather than scared in desperate situations. That's what the monster inside Bachira advises him. Bachira comes face to face with Mikaji. With his raging excitement, he steps over with ultra-fast speed and does a roulette spin to leave Mikaji behind. Now it's Suguri's turn to catch up to Bachira, but finds it difficult to take the ball from him as he lifts the ball in the air, catches it again, does an air elastico and feint while Tsurugi watches him with open-mouthed shock. Bachira becomes a target of 3 more players from Team V. He thinks he has to pass him, otherwise he isn't the best striker level. Isagi is surprised and impressed with how happy Bachira looks and decides that he needs to enjoy the game too if it's going to be his last. Meanwhile, Bachira dodges the 3 players and kicks a Rabona toward the goalkeeper, giving Team Z their first goal of the game. Team Z is completely joyful. Bachira has motivated Igarashi to break his limits as well. Congratulating Bachira, Kunigami explains that breaking limits isn't reckless. Bachira has managed to score because of his dribbling skills, his main weapon. Limit is the formula which doesn't work in this game, so if they want to score, they have to come up with new ones. Bachira is in agreement, stating that he was surprised to try this. They really need to try new things and evolve, or else they will lose. The game continues with Isagi placing Raichi to cover Mikaji, so they can pierce him. Chigiri and Gajimaru are instructed to cover the space that opens up. They need to stop Mikaji before he sets up for another goal with Nagi. With an annoyed agreement, Team Z's strategy is played on. Mikaji passes to Tsurugi with no other choice. Chigiri runs after him and tries to keep up and touch the ball, just as Tsurugi passes and changes its direction. Somehow Nagi manages to get the ball. Taking a shot from outside the penalty area, he hits Igarashi's face. That's still better than another goal. Bouncing off his face, the ball reaches Bachira, who is faced by Mikaji again. Mikaji isn't going to let him pass this time. Bachira is aware of that, but this time he isn't alone. Bachira passes to Kunigami, who needs to get into his 28-meter range. Under pressure, he wonders what to do since he has never scored scored from outside his range. He hears Isagi yelling at him just to go for it and not overthink it. Kunigami recognizes the need to evolve and get out of his comfort zone. He goes all in with a full power technical shot. The shot is headed exactly at the middle of the goal, making the goalkeeper wonder if he should punch it. Of course, it's not going to be that predictable because the ball wobbles and changes its direction, flying past the goalkeeper and making the score 3-2. It's halftime, and Team Z's spirits are high. Kunigami explains the new sensation that just made him score, and he's super happy. This makes Isagi wonder how they can try a new version of himself if this is going to be their last game. Team V has their own discussion with Mikaji, telling everyone that they need to bring a change to their tactic as well, to answer the change in Team Z's tactic. The second half begins with Kunigami noticing that Team V is pressing him even quicker. He doesn't want to take the reckless chance of taking longer shots, thus he passes to Bachira. He passes to Gajimuro, who feels that he's ahead of the ball but shoots with a scorpion kick. The ball is heading to the right corner. However, Tsurugi deflects it. Isagi has the possession of the ball now, who has a chance to shoot from 23 meters, but he immediately gets blocked. He starts to come up with ways to score when another player comes and takes the ball from him. Isagi is left wondering what he could have done to evolve. Nagi calls him a useless player who's full of himself and inefficient for not taking the shot. Nagi further mocks him by asking him why he doesn't give up, because he would have definitely quit football if his talents were the same as Isagi's. Isagi isn't going to take his insults anymore. He tells him to sit back and shut up, because he is just about to get to the good part. Terry takes note that the game is turning out just as Ego predicted. Ego feels the game is intense, since a new striker is forced to awaken every time the line is crossed between life and death. He asks her what she thinks awake means. She replies by guessing that it means going from ordinary to extraordinary. He thinks she is way off. Awakening is like a jigsaw puzzle, facing an extreme situation to win. All the pieces fall into place after trial and error. That's when a new ego blooms and the player learns who he really is. Isagi starts overthinking about his inefficiency, just like Nagi told him. Meanwhile, his zoning out gave his opponents a chance to block his shot. Owing to his special awareness, he can get into a good position to shoot, but it's pointless if he can't manage to shoot. Raichi keeps annoying Mikaji by pressuring him. Raichi agrees that Mikaji is good, but he is aware of how to stop him since he always looks for Nagi first. On the other hand, Igarashi annoys Nagi, telling him that he never does anything unless Mikaji tells him to do it. Adding fuel to the fire, Raichi calls Mikaji a master of none without Nagi. Getting furious, Mikaji hits him with his elbow. That gets him a yellow card. Raichi passes to Chirigi, who is faced by Tsurugi. Trying to get past him, Chirigi realizes that he won't be able to outrun him as he accelerates quickly. He remembers that he did touch Tsurugi's pass earlier in the game. He needs a situation where he can use his weapon. Hitting the ball towards an empty area, Tsurugi mocks that there is no one there. He doesn't know that Chirigi is passing to himself. Tsurugi catches up to him. Noticing that he is faster, Chirigi agrees, adding that it only lasts in the initial moments. He won't be able to beat him in the 10 meters range, but he can definitely outrun him on a longer run. Chirigi reaches the ball and shoots into the goal. He has equalized the game to 3-3. 30 minutes remain on the clock. Ego watches from afar, stating that the best striker in the world is the one that can dominate this blue frenzy. The 10th episode begins, and Kuan still can't come to terms with how his team is equalized against Team V, especially when they have just 10 players. Do they seriously think they can win? Kuan screams at Team V, mocking them for being outplayed by 10 players. Mikaji tells him to shut up. Mikaji is not going to give up and go back to being his parents' toy. He grabs the ball, but it isn't going to be easy. Raichi blocks him, who mocks him, asking if he's terrified of getting his first taste of defeat. He is unable to pass to Nagi. He needs to come up with other options. Seeing Isagi behind him, he knows that he can't lose the ball, which Isagi is waiting for. He can't see any openings and feels that the field is completely dominated by Team Z. He starts imagining that he and Nagi will lose this time. Seeing his face, Nagi gets back and asks him to give him the ball. Nagi has taken an initiative for the first time, which surprises Isagi. He promises Mikaji to give it a try. He comes face to face with Igarashi. That's when he lobs the ball and nutmegs him. Nagi passes to the wing when Imamura comes to stop him. Both Tsurugi and Chirigi run for the ball. However, Tsurugi reaches it first. Surprisingly, Tsurugi is asking for a pass for the first time. Nagi tells him to pass the ball in the penalty area. These initiatives make Nagi wonder as well about why he's trying so hard. Is it because because he saw Mikaji's face, or is it because the guys he thought were lame actually turned out to be cool? It doesn't matter at this point, as his curiosity isn't going to stop. Tsurugi passes the ball in the goalkeeper area. Despite the small angle, Nagi stops the ball and turns to score a goal. Team V is in the lead by 4-3. Isagi notes that Nagi has also found his awakening like them. Nagi tells Mikaji that football is pretty fun, calling his life pretty boring until this point when he has discovered his ego called curiosity. Team Z has found itself in a dilemma. How do they stop Nagi? Tsurugi suggests Kunigami to fall back from the front line and help with the defense. Kunigami agrees, guessing that they should depend on counterattacks. Calling them idiots, Yoichi disagrees, saying that they need to keep attacking, while Isagi and he can figure out the midfield. There is no point in defending if they can't score in the remaining 15 minutes. He doesn't like defending, but it has earned them 3 goals, so it's worth a try. They need to go all out and attack as they are strikers. Meanwhile, Mikaji tells Nagi that they surely can win if they can score 1 more goal. The game continues and Isagi sticks to Nagi. He sees Bachira with the ball, who is surrounded by 3 players, wondering who he will pass to. There are 10 players and have used up more energy than the opponents. Bachira passes to Tsurugi, telling him to run. Tsurugi gives himself a long pass, managing to outrun Tsurugi. However, Nagi already predicted that, so he went ahead and waited for the ball. Coming in front of Nagi, Isagi tells him that they should have waited a bit more ahead if they really wanted the ball. Team Z isn't going to fall into their traps. Isagi passes the ball to Tsurugi, who is running. The opponent's defense is grouped together in front of the goalkeeper. Tsurugi goes on to take the shot. However, the goalkeeper slightly touches it and redirects it to the goalpost. The defense has gathered at one side to stop Tsurugi, and no one realizes that the other side is free. Gagamaru is there and takes the shot, but is blocked by Mikaji, who has returned there. The ball rebounds again into the penalty area where Kunigami is waiting to take the shot. He hits the ball into the goal and scores, equalizing the game again. Isagi had envisioned all of this. Isagi wonders how everything played out on his mind and rewinds everything that occurred. As Bachira passes to Tsurugi, he has a simulation playing out in his head. Isagi then ran into the weak point space, aware that they would unleash a wave of attacks if he occupied it. His weapon allows him to run a simulation with everyone's weapons and events from the game. He realizes that this is the best way to use his weapon. He can foresee the future of the field with his eyes and brain. Kuon has managed to gather 10 more people sometime earlier and has filled an application to start a new club at Kitsunuzika High School. They started to enjoy Kuon after forming the new football club, aiming to be the national champions. His teammates started to slack and show less effort as the time passed. Kuon yelled at them for not caring enough after he had watched them relax after losing the game. That's when they told him that he was the only delusional one amongst them who believed in reaching the nationals, while they never did. They called him overbearing, and it wasn't fun for them to play with him anymore. That made Kuon realize that he was the only one playing football seriously. He decided that he doesn't need friends anymore. Kuon received the invitation letter for Blue Lock and decided to join, leaving everything behind. In the present, Kuon notes that both teams can win the match. The next goal will determine the winner, with only a little time remaining on the clock. He realizes that if this game ends in a draw, Team Z will be placed in the 3rd position, leaving this selection. Kunigami has scored his 3rd goal, just like Kuon has his 3 goals. Their fair play points are 0, making the higher-ranked player advance, which is Kuon. He wishes for things to stay as they are, so he doesn't have to do anything. Tsurugi gives a long pass to Nagi. However, Isagi covers him as he already anticipated this. He is aware that Nagi will have a better position to get the ball, so he decides to keep a distance and block, which gives his teammates enough time to get back and help. Getting into position, he waits for Nagi to stop the ball with either of his legs. He surprises them by bumping the ball with his back, passing Isagi, who feels desperate. Kuon is mumbling to himself, saying that he isn't one of the half-in guys who let their dreams go unfulfilled. He will use any method, even if he is alone. Nagi is about to shoot when Kuon runs in and grabs him to take him down with a foul. He is given a red card. He tells Isagi that now they can continue fighting. Misagi is furious. However, Tsurugi needs to calm down. If he does something in anger, he might be given a 2nd yellow card and dismissed from the game. Team Z is surprised at Kuon, who bursts their bubble saying that he did it for himself, not them. They know that now his fair play score is lower, which will make Kunigami advance if they lose. Kuon knows that and tells them to win, because he needs to be the best striker in the world. Team Z states that they will win. However, Yoichi and Kunigami Shinigami want to be the best striker in the world. 3 minutes remaining. Mikaji asks Nagi if he is okay and confirms that he is. Their teammates wonder how to use their defense so they can run down the clock for the remaining minutes. The trio doesn't just want to run down the clock, they intend to crush Team Z. A draw against a team like this is as bad as losing. Team V prepares to take a free kick with Mikaji behind the ball. Lemon tries to imagine himself in Mikaji's place, learning to wonder who he will pass to, Tsurugi or Nagi. However, Lemon knows that this is Blue Lock. A true egoist will take the shot himself. Mikaji shoots and Lemon jumps at the corner, managing to block the ball since he was expecting this. Tsurugi gets in front of Chigiri and Narahaya before they have time to react, reaching the rebound ball. Raichi blocks the shot just as he tried to kick the goal. Nagi stops the ball with his chest that has reached him. Team Z bounces up to stop his goal when he prepares to take a shot. Nagi sees that and takes a soft shot, sending the ball over them. Lemon and the whole defense is unable to reach it. It is about to enter the empty goal. Gagamaru reaches it and kicks it up, hitting the top post, which rebounds it to where Isagi is. Kuwan notes that they have managed to hold their fort against Team V with just 10 people. He yells at Isagi to go just when he notes that this is their last chance. Will Team Z finally crack the perfect formula? Is Team V and the trio going to be successful at crushing their opponents? Will Isagi's dreams be shattered? Will Team Z be able to retain their position at Blue Lock? We'll find out in the next couple of episodes of Blue Lock. And if you're a subscriber with notifications enabled, you'll find out soon enough.